Hello viewers, first of all a consumer gripe from the UK to the energy companies out there. Now popping up on the screen is the UK Nat Gas price, fallen 80% since its highs of last year, and also another chart showing worldwide similar type of fall. So my question to the energy companies is, how come my bill in the last few months has gone up 4 or 5 times when the price has fallen so much? Love to hear your answers in the comments below. But anyway, the purpose of this video is to explore the US Nat Gas price. It has fallen, like I said, very heavily over the last few months. And is it now the right time to jump back in and buy that very big dip? Well, I'm going to have a look at the fundamentals, technicals, bit of sentiment, mash it all together and try and come up with an answer for you. So with that, let's take a look. So first of all, some Nat Gas 101. What does affect the price of Nat Gas? Well, there's 6 main factors. 3 on the supply side, 3 on the demand side. Now on the supply side, it's the amount of natural gas in production, the level of natural gas in storage, and the volumes of natural gas imports and exports. While on the other side, demand, it's the variations in severity in the winter and summer weather, level of economic growth, and the availability and prices of other fuels. It's very difficult to switch, it's very timely to switch between other fuels, so you can get short-term increases in demand, spikes in prices because of that. So they're the 6 main factors we've got to bear in mind when trying to assess the price. And then on top of that, you've probably got some speculation in there as well. And Nat Gas in the US, the main contract is the ticker NG1, and that's the one we'll be focusing on in this analysis. So one of the best places to get the current fundamentals of Nat Gas, and for that matter, if you want to learn more about Nat Gas, is to head to the US Energy Information Administration, that's the EIA website, and I'm currently in the Nat Gas storage dashboard. It's going to give you all sorts of useful information, and remember those 6 factors that we talked about, they're heavily covered off inside this dashboard. Now first one we can see there of interest is the underground storage capacity utilization. So looking at that across the US, plenty of space still left. Then we've got like temperature analysis. Remember I said, hot, cold, extremes can seriously affect the demand of the Nat Gas product. And at the moment, it's just slightly above normal, so no spikes there, no cold snaps coming in for the winter period. And if we scroll down, you can use all sorts of information here. I like this one here. It's basically saying a balance between the deficit and surplus of Nat Gas, and at the moment we're currently in surplus. So to me, that's saying, well, actually the price could still fall a bit until it reaches neutrality. So interesting chart there. That's the lower 48 weekly working gas stocks minus 5-year average and near month futures prices. Useful guide. And then scrolling down, we've got the weather. As you can see, like I said, across the US at the moment it's above normal, so not expecting much there to hit and impact the price. And then we've got the natural gas futures price curve. As you can see, here's a current price down on the left, and the market is expecting it to rise from $2.50 to around $4, and that takes us through to January of next year. So that's the fundamentals at the moment, all looking pretty normal, nothing exceptional to worry us about from where we currently are. So here's a longer term look at the Nat Gas price. You can see the ticker up in the top left, NG1. It's a weekly Heikin-Ashi chart. As you can see, we're heading back to pretty much where we were in 2016 and the sort of mid 2020, and from that mid 2020 point we saw that huge ramp up in the price, and then from sort of end of summer 22, massive fall, and as you can see nearly 80%. Interesting to see where all the volume by price is over there on the right hand side. Have a look as it went up, really not a lot there, and you can see a huge chunk of volume around where we're currently trading. So it, like we've seen, it could have easily slipped all the way back down to the 3.5 level, no problem, just because of the lack of volume there. And then, like I said, we've still got a bit of space to the bottom, $1.50 the price there. We're under this big bulk of volume that sort of marries in with a lot of the price action actually going back the last 7 or 8 years. So still some downside possible, and the lows, like I said, tried it, 2020, 2016, they're worth watching out for down here. In terms of a bounce that people are talking about, then I think this volume is going to prove a bit of a headbutt in getting it through this 3.5 area where we've got a lot of noise before, and especially when we look at the fundamentals and the other indicators we're going to look at in this analysis. At the moment there's nothing really to excite it to the upside. Now, one thing it does have in its favour is seasonality. As you can see, we've been on this down slope from December through to where we are now, but have a look over on the left all the way through to the summer. Historically, it's normally very positive. Now, I also like to look at the commitment of traders data, and what I'm looking for here is that the large commercials act to the inverse of the price, and the large speculators, they're the guys punting on the price action. Well, I'm looking for that to be going in the same direction, and that's pretty much what we see actually at the moment. We've got large commercials going up, large speculators going down, and we can see that price going down. So that also tells me that it's bearish currently, but you can just see there on the right hand side large speculators starting to build up longer positions, so that's something to watch. But at the moment, generally still the bearish position, and seasonality bearish at the moment, but won't be long before it starts turning bullish. Now, if you are betting on prices going up, the line break chart is great for reversals, and in this setup got a couple of prices for you, quite aggressive to get you in at. As you can see down there, 2.28 and 2.34, and like I said, if you're bullish, that could be some areas for you to consider getting in at. What are the Renko charts telling us? Well, we've got a shorter medium term view on the left and longer term on the right. Let's go to the short term first, and in terms of what's going on, we've got the trend down, and you can see that pullback in the price there, broken down from that quite significant area, it seems, around 2.36. The stochastics there just turning bullish. You can see we've got that block there bouncing from those lows at 2.189. At the moment it's still a bearish setup, but you could see that easily retrace back to those support and resistance areas at that 2.363 sort of zone quite quickly, and then it's going to get into a whole range of mess up to the 2.644 area. So in the short term it's still looking weak bearish. Now the longer term on the right hand side, it's no guessing which way the trend direction is. It's solidly down. In terms of our indicators, also both bearish, so there's no hint of any bullish sign at the moment. And as you can see from here, we've got this quadruple bottom. Let me zoom in a bit on that one. You can see there 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price broke on down. And like we said, $1.50, it could easily test if it keeps on going. So all the signs there on the longer term is it's still negative, and bearish both short, medium and long term technically at the moment. Let's put a score on NatGas then. At the moment I'm going weak bearish. If we look at those Renko charts, longer term still very bearish, and the medium shorter term slowing down maybe that negativity, but still overall a weak bearish feel to me. Now the other factors, seasonality neutral but soon to turn bullish, so one to watch. Commitment of traders certainly supporting bearishness at the moment, but again note that we talked about the large speculators starting to build up longer positions. Weather, nothing to talk about. Supply and demand fundamentals also pretty neutral. Some numbers there for you on the line break chart for a bullish entry if you think that price is going up, and into the targets. The upside 1.5 and 4 to 1, and the downside 1.24 and 2.05 to 1. But based on what we've seen so far, there's nothing really to tell me or give me an indication that things are going to turn extremely bullish in the next short while. So I think we are weak bearish to a neutral, maybe a ranging market for a while ahead. So general conclusion, well, it's looking still weak bearish. Nothing really jumping out hitting me saying it's time to buy. We could be seeing a bit of a range bound, up down market for a while until those fundamentals certainly shift. Now let me know in the comments below where you think Nat Gas is going to head next. Love to hear your thoughts. Also be careful, because Nat Gas is a tricky one to trade, so don't jump in just because of the FOMO factor. Trade what you see. Now if you've liked what you've seen in today's video and you want to learn more about the charts, technical analysis that I've used, then I've got a playlist coming up for you in just a minute. And also I've got a playlist if you're wanting to take your trading to the next level. It's the ultimate free trading course, all there on YouTube for you. That playlist also coming up now.